Hi everyone, my name is Trisha Galdigolarion, and for today's video, I'll be going to discuss the classification of assessment, the standardized in test. Before we start, I'll give you a brief information. Did you know that the man considered to be the father of standardized testing in the US is Horace Mann, who was secretary of the Massachusetts State Board of Education from 1837 to 1847. Before 1845, oral examinations prevailed as the primary way to measure educational attainment in American schools. Therefore, standardized tests are one of the evaluate the effectiveness of an education program, besides being useful in assessing students' performance. They are also means to evaluate the curriculum principles in teachers, can see where their students are doing well and determine what areas are need to improvement. So that's it. Let's go back to our topic. If you hear the standardized test, what is standardized in test? Standardized tests are designed to measure knowledge across courses, subjects, and disciplines. Therefore, they generally cover a much broader domain information. Their focus tends to be more global, with an emphasis of associations, integrations, and applications. They may even intended evaluate specific cognitive skills such as problem solving, verbal reasoning, or analytical thinking. Moreover, standardized test questions are written and edited by a group of content expert and professionals editors, people you have never met, using established test construction techniques developed with the intent of reducing your ability to use cues and clues to select the correct answers. Alright, so if you hear that the standardizing test, it has a broader domain of information. Have you ever experienced national achievement test when you were back in your elementary days or in junior high? Something like that. That's the one of the example of a standardized in test. Yeah. Um, all right. So next, we have here teacher-made test versus standardized in test. So we have two types of test. We have first teacher-generated and standardized test. So I'll go first in the teacher-generated. So it has a design for a single course, limited focus and emphasis on specific details. So when you hear teacher generated, it has a single course and they have only a limited focus. From the word limited, so um, it will be the expected the learners or the assessment are not are not able to get the broader domain or the entire assessment, and they have also the specific details only. While in the standardized test, they have a design to cover entire domain, global focused, and emphasis on associations. Have you heard earlier what I've said? Like national achievement test is the one of the example of standardized in test. So most of the learners or the individual are taking this to measure their knowledge, their cognitive skills, and etc. So I would I would I would prefer with in that standardized test for the students. All right. Next, we have here three major types of standardized test. First was norm reference test and criterion reference test and diagnostic test. So let's proceed first with the norm reference test. Nor- Norm reference test compare the performance of an individual to that group on which the test was standardized. So when you hear this norm reference, uh, the performance of the students or the individual are compared into group into group in a way they are able to do a standardized test rather. Next, we have here a criterion reference test means measure the performance in terms of mastery or particular skills that the child is expected to have learned. So here it says in criterion the performer or the performance of the students or the particular students that they learned they are learned into particular skills are expected. And last, we have here diagnostic tests. Diagnostic tests are designed to lead the specific instructional plans and may sample many components of an area of achievement. So here, most of the diagnostic tests are the learners or the performer are really have their specific instructional plans and they have also their components of achievement. All right. So hope they understand. Let's proceed. Next. Here we have also here test for measuring literacy. So when you hear measuring literacy, so it's something like there's a negative effects for the students or the learners. So we have hundreds of formal tests are available, including group administered tests, individually administered tests, and testing to accommodate special populations. So it has a most common tests are used in schools, have a variety of purpose to assist progress in reading, to target students who may have problems or to provide evidence regarding success or failure of a program. And that was a norm reference. It was included in the norm reference. Next. In the individual administered test, it has often designed to yield diagnostic information, can be either norm reference or criterion reference. And lastly, the testing to accommodate special populations, the students and exceptionals for special education. The title as students and second language learner. So here these are the tests are for measure literacy. Yeah, so and yes, that's all for today. Hope you understand my lessons and bye. Thank you.